What's up, YouTube? This is James coming back at you with another informative video. I hope you guys are doing well out there on this beautiful midweek Wednesday. I'm doing well myself. I decided to cover more on this ex-officer, if you want to call him that, Sean Grayson. You may or may not know that this guy has an extensive police history that really shows that he never should have been employed as a police officer in the first place. Then on top of that, he was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and he's trying to use that for defense, basically for him to get a bail, because he has to wear a colostomy bag. Okay, but before we get into that, I want to tell you a few things basically about what the family said, how they came to know about Sonya Massey, their daughter's demise. The police tried to cover it up. Okay, first they told the family, the father said that she died by suicide. Okay, then they came back and said it was by some other means, and then the brother of the father came and told him that police actually killed her. Okay, so had it not been basically for the autopsy report, showing that basically it was by homicide, the police would have got away with this. They was already kicking the can down the road, to lie and say basically that's what it was. And being on top of that, this low-life piece of shit right here, he never had his body camera on. So he intended on doing this, as far as I'm concerned. The way he baited her, to go in that kitchen and to tend to the pot on the stove, cut the stove off. Then he gets up and follow her pretty much, and then says, well, get away from me with that hot water, And then that's when, Miss Massey went into, I rebuke in the name of Jesus, and this lowlife pulled a gun and told her he would shoot her in her face. You know what I'm saying? And there it was. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this was all premeditated. Now, in the initial report, it says that Sonya Massey actually called the police because she heard prowlers outside, or a prowler outside her house. Okay? This was the first officer right here on the scene. And the thing is this. He claimed he never found nothing. But what's funny to me is that when the second officer came, they found this particular officer, Sean Grayson, there already inspecting. That led me to believe it's a possibility that this was the prowler in the first place, if there were any prowlers. This right here was the prowler, But that's just something that I just want to add to the mix right here, in case you guys may have known or not known. But what I want us to do is check out a couple of video clips, news clips, discussing, the whole entire situation, and him trying to use getting bail by what is stage 3, colon cancer. And also, first of all, his extensive, police history. So without further ado, let's check this out.
Records show the former deputy who shot Sonya Massey worked for multiple departments in the state of Illinois in just a handful of years. Senior investigative reporter Paula Vassan delves into how law enforcement officers in the state of Illinois are tracked. Paula.
Well, legal experts tell us the state of Illinois has something Missouri does not have, a way to search for police officers to check their work history. It shows former sheriff's deputy Sean Grayson worked for 6 different agencies in the state of Illinois in just 4 years. But the public website does not show the full picture, revealing hired and separation dates without explanation. State records show 30-year-old Grayson hopped around as a part-time officer at 3 small departments. He had a full-time job at a 4th department and worked at 2 sheriff's offices, all of his jobs in central Illinois. We've also discovered he had 2 misdemeanor DWI convictions in Macoupin County. The I-team is working to find out what's being done in the state to prevent officers with potentially bad track records from bouncing around. Industry sources tell us it's the responsibility of the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board to allow an officer to be hired somewhere else. The I-Team has reached out to that board for an explanation into how Grayson kept getting hired. We're waiting to hear back. We've also discovered that in general, sovereign immunity in state law often prohibits negligent hiring cases against state entities like police departments. It means it can be easier for bad hires to slip through the cracks.
We are learning new details about the body camera footage showing what prosecutors say led to a sheriff's deputy shooting and killing a Springfield woman in her home. Good evening, I'm Brandon Morano.
And I'm Karina Rubio. Former Sangamon County Sheriff's Deputy Sean Grayson is facing several charges in the death of Sonia Massey, including first-degree murder. Today, Grayson made his first appearance in court where a judge denied him pretrial release. State Capitol reporter Theodore Coulivaris was in that courtroom today and has more.
Nearly 2 weeks ago, 36-year-old Sonia Massey called 911, concerned someone was trying to break into her Springfield home. Deputy Sean Grayson and another unnamed deputy arrived and entered her home to make sure it was safe. New court documents from the Sangamon County State's Attorney detail what happened next. As the other deputy on scene cleared the rest of the house, Grayson noticed a pot of boiling water on the stove. He said he was fine with Massey removing it to prevent any accidental fires. Massey put the pot in another room, separated by a large counter. After Massey picked up the pot, prosecutors say Grayson, quote, made a comment about the pot and Massey set it down on a counter in the kitchen. He was in the living room while this was happening. Then Grayson took out his gun and threatened to shoot Massey in the face. Massey put her hands in the air and said, quote, I'm sorry, and she ducked behind a counter separating her and Grayson. Still holding his gun, Grayson approached and yelled at her to put the pot down. Then Grayson fired 3 times, hitting her once in the face. During that entire time, Grayson did not have his body-worn camera turned on. He only turned it on after he shot her. The other deputy did have his camera on the entire time. Then, that other deputy said he was going to get a medical kit from the vehicle to render aid, but Grayson told him not to because of how severely hurt Massey was. But the other deputy still tried to provide her aid until first responders arrived. Prosecutors say Grayson never tried to help her. In the courtroom Thursday, the prosecutor said it showed, quote, callousness. The judge called his actions a, quote, departure of expectations of civil society and societal norms. The defense made their case Thursday as to why Grayson shouldn't be held on pretrial release. They say he was previously diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer and has an ostomy bag. They say the bag needs to be removed. While in custody, the ostomy bag ruptured. Because of this, they say it would be a, quote, burden on the jail. The judge did not agree. Reporting in Springfield, I'm Theodore Coulivaris.
Grayson is also charged with aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. The body camera video is set to be released Monday morning. Today in court, we also learned more about Grayson. He worked at the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office for a 1.5 years and previously worked in law enforcement in Pawnee, Auburn, and Logan County. He is set to get married in October to his fiancée.
So you see, he's already trying to make his sickness, make him appear like some sort of victim or something like that, and had the nerve to plead not guilty when he's right there on video. Although he intended not to be on video, but his partner's body camera was on and caught all of it. You see what I'm saying? And then on top of that, see, these tattoos right here says it all. He's more likely a devil worshiper. They believe in death and harming innocent things, innocent animals, innocent people. You understand? All this kind of stuff, man. He should have never been able to be on the police department, force. And just like demons jump from body to body, when they actually get kicked out, exorcised out or whatever, or actually take down the host, if you understand what I'm saying. This is what this lowlife was doing when he was jumping from police force to police force. You see what I'm saying? And now look what he's done now. The biggest crime, in his career ever, known to us, because as far as we know, could have already, killed somebody before. You just never know. A lowlife like this, I watched the whole entire thing. And like the father said, had they not known about what the the coroner report on his daughter, being, classified as a homicide, guess what? This would have been swept under the carpet. This would have been swept under the carpet. Now, at this point, as far as I'm concerned, the only so-called justice that the family can get right now, as far as I'm concerned, will be justice to me. Put this lowlife to capital punishment. Capital punishment, flat out. You understand what I mean? And don't take 10, 20, or 30 years to do it. Get rid of him. Make an example out of him. Public execution. Just like what he did to that woman right here. Now, it's public execution. Because everybody see it. You see what I mean? The whole world that hears about Sonya Massey's demise by the hand of this low-life piece of shit right here. It's public execution. Do him the same way. Do him the same way. But see, here in this particular kingdom right here, the devil's kingdom, no. They're not going to kill Barabbas. But the Most High will, if you understand what I'm saying. If you know who Barabbas is versus Yahweh Shai, you'll know. See, just like they did with Pontius Pilate, where he said he find no fault in Yahweh Shai. You understand? And he was washing his hands to it. But the people said, no, get rid of Yahweh Shai and do not kill Barabbas. Barabbas was a good man. No, he wasn't. This is Barabbas right here. You understand? This time they need to get rid of Barabbas. But rather, they do it, the system do it, guess what? This low-life piece of shit right here is done for. Done for. And anybody that's just like him, done for. It's just a matter of time. That's all I got on this one, people. I want you guys to tell me what you think about this particular video right here. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe, people. Please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.